Well, on Wednesday, Dana White spoke to Tom Brady during an Instagram Live session, and on Thursday, he talked to Tom's boss, who apparently wasn't too happy about the video. In a radio interview, White said Robert Kraft stressed his desire to re-sign Brady, saying, quote, Mr. Kraft wants Tom Brady to be with the Patriots so bad. I just talked to him today, and Mr. Kraft wants Brady bad. Shannon, what does this tell you?
Absolutely nothing, because we've always known where Mr. Kraft stood on this situation. He's made it abundantly clear he wants Tom. When Tom first threw this out there, Skip, about he wanting to play the 45, it was Tom Brady and Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft was in that camp. Yes, Tommy says it, I believe it, and I want him. Now I need Dana White. I love Dana. Gonna bet him, too. I didn't even talk to Bill Belichick. Because that's what we need to talk about, right, Skip Bayless? Because we know where Tom Brady stands. We know where Mr. Kraft stands. I need to know where Hoodie, Coach Belichick, the greatest coach in NFL history.
Says you.
No, it don't say everybody.
I'm not everybody.
Don't do that, Skip Bayless. You just want to be the lone dissenter.
No, I do not.
Hold on. Coach Belichick got 6 of them rings, 9 appearances, and you want to put somebody in front of that?
Bill Walsh, he invented his own offense. Coach picked all of his players.
Who you think? How you think all those players got to New England?
I got it.
A lot of them ones that cast off other places.
You know, does Bill call plays? No.
He called defenses.
Oh.
Called defenses.
Okay.
But anyway, Skip, stop interrupting me. Look.
You asked me and I corrected you.
Skip, look. Tom Brady is very good. He's not good, he's great for Mr. Kraft business. Doesn't matter. But see, at the end of the day, Coach Belichick looks at it like this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Tom stays another year, 2 years. And then all of a sudden, he's no longer there. And they're not the same team. If they go 7-9 or they go 8-8, that record goes on Mr. Kraft's resume or it goes on Bill Belichick. So it affects people differently.
Well, the truth is, it goes on both their resumes.
No. Hey, when the last time you look at Mike Brown? Ain't nobody talking about Mike Brown's record.
I think we talk about it all the time.
No, we talk about how stingy and how dysfunctional it is. But we don't.
How Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game.
Marvin Lewis. So during that time, who was the owner when Marvin Lewis wasn't winning a playoff game? Mike Brown.
And
we didn't mention him.
What pass did we always give Marvin Lewis? Well, he is coaching for the cheapest, stingiest mom-and-pop owner in pro football.
In all the sports.
Yep.
Maybe.
But
Skip, look, this doesn't tell me anything. It really doesn't, because we know where Mr. Kraft stands with Tom Brady. He views him as a son. He treats him like a son. You remember, Skip, his mom, Tom's mom was going through her battle with cancer. He gave her a ring that only the coaches and players got. That shows what he thought of Tom, what he thinks of Tom, what he thinks of Tom's family. So Dana saying this, that Mr. Kraft wants him back, I'm not surprised by that. But if Dana wants to really get that podcast or whatever he's doing, IG Live going, get Coach Belichick on and have Coach Belichick says, I really want Tom back. Now he owned to something.
That's the get
wants him bad.
Yeah, he said he wants him bad. Hey, Coach Belichick says, I want him gone bad.
That's true. I agree with that. So what did I tell you yesterday? Gee, we haven't heard a peep out of the man who really counts. The buck stops on the desk of Robert Kraft, who has gone radio silent in all of the above. And he's effectively still radio silent because he did not speak out publicly. Dana, secondhand,
spoke on his behalf
for him.
Yes.
And Dana said that Mr. Kraft called him out of the blue, upset with him because he seemed to be campaigning for Tom to sign with Dana's
the Raiders.
Newtown team, because Dana now lives in Las Vegas, but Dana grew up in New England, a big Patriot fan.
Correct.
Actually in Maine, but it's still Patriot Nation, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it came across off the first reports off the Tom plus Dana, whatever it was.
Instagram
Live.
IG Live.
Right? Was it the same thing? I think it was. That Dana was campaigning to get him to the new Raiders home in Las Vegas, correct?
When he did preface it, Skip, he says, I love to see Tom in New England, but...
Okay, but he made that clear yesterday. He said to Robert Kraft, like, time out, I'm out of context here.
Fair.
But then Mr. Kraft relates to him. I want him back bad, real bad, he said. Okay, do we believe that? Yeah, we believe that.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that is the case.
Right.
And do I think behind the scenes that Robert Kraft will do everything in his power to make Tom happy enough to finish out in New England? I do. And that could be money or love. Those are the two things that Kraft has to offer, right? Money and love. So would he try to break the bank for him for the first time ever and say, do you want $40 million next year to play or for the next 2 years? Let's do $40 million. He could do that if he wanted. That's his call, right?
Yes.
And there's going to be all kinds of I love you Tommies going on, right?
Yes.
And I love your mom and your dad and your sisters, and I love everything about you, and it would be just wrong for you to leave us now because you were born to finish in New England.
Right.
2 more years. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll see how we feel. But for sure, let's book in 2 more years right now. Right. Whatever money you want, whatever new conditions you want. Do you need Mondays off, every Monday off? You don't want to come in on Monday. Whatever you want, I think Robert Kraft will offer that. Bill Belichick will not offer any of the above.
Exactly.
So
definitely
to me,
not that Monday off.
No. and so there's going to be an internal clash between Kraft and Belichick. Well, we saw that happen 2 years ago, and we're pretty sure Kraft won that one.
He won it.
He overruled, right?
Yeah, he did. No
he
question.
said, no, you got to trade Jimmy. We're going to keep Tom, trade Jimmy.
Correct.
So is it possible there's going to be an internal showdown between the owner and the coach over this? Is it possible the coach will balk to the point that he'll want to out over this? He might. It's possible.
Skip, you and I both believe and agree with that Mr. Kraft won the first round, that he says Jimmy goes, Tommy stays. I don't believe this time he will intervene. Now, it could. Now, here's what's at play, Skip. Tom Brady knows Mr. Kraft has the final say. Now, you've overruled him one time. Mr. Kraft doesn't want the blood on his hand. Tommy goes somewhere else, knowing that if Mr. Kraft really, really, truly wanted him, he could have put his foot down and says, Bill, Tommy's not going anywhere.
He could have.
He doesn't want the Skip. He doesn't want, because at the end of the day, Skip, like when a player of Tom Brady caliber leaves, it's because the owner did not intervene. It's just like when you sign up, like there's some contracts that you just like, okay, I'm gonna let Bill handle that. But when you start getting to the big dollars, you got to run that up to the owner.
Sure.
And what I'm thinking about offering this guy $120 million, 100, or whatever it is, Skip. In a situation like this, you got to run. You just can't cut Tom Brady. You just can't trade Tom Brady like you can any other player. You got to run that by the owner.
Okay.
So if the owner okays it and Tom leaves, Tom is never going to forget that. Do you think, Skip, look, Peyton has a great relationship with Mr. Irsay.
Okay.
But he never forgave him for cutting him.
Totally agree.
Totally, he never forgave him. He deals with Mr. Irsay with a long handle spoon.
I don't think he calls him Mr., but go ahead.
he calls you. I mean, you know, it's funny. I call all the owners Mr. and Mrs. except Jerry, because he don't want you to call him. He wants you to call him by addressing him. So I address him high. But Mr. Irsay, even though Skip, he had they put a statue in front of Lucas Oil. But he's like, I can't forgive you for what you did.
Yep.
So that's at play too.
Okay.
And it tugs at, because like I said, Skip, we haven't seen a situation like this. It's not very often that an owner gets this close to a player where he views him as a son.
I agree.
Jerry and Tony Romo.
Yep.
But this is even deeper.
I agree. Deeper. Because they won so much together.
Yes.
There's something about, as you well know, when you win with somebody, the bond created is everlasting.
Yeah.
It's deep.
The amount that they won, Skip,
Yep.
you win 1 or 2, you're like, well, yeah, that's great. Skip, you win 6. They're doing things that's probably in our lifetime we're never going to see again.
I'm not sure in anybody's
We're not going to see it, Skip. So, yes, that's at play here. But at the end of the day, I believe it's going to be Coach Belichick's call. And if he's back, because the love and adoration that you said Mr. Kraft has, I really believe Tom wants that from Bill. He wants that from Coach Belichick.
Okay.
Something that he hasn't received in 20 years.
Thank you. So I will remind you, the most significant comment we heard from Tom Brady happened 2 years ago in the offseason after the New England-Philadelphia debacle Super Bowl in which Tom threw for 505, put up 33, and they lost 41-33.
Right.
And Tom was out here on the West Coast in Santa Monica, not very far from here, at some kind of a convention where he was paid to speak, and Jim Gray was his paid moderator. And Jim asked him a very pointed question. Do you feel like you have received the appropriate gratitude from, and he just said, the Patriots.
Right.
He didn't specify coach or owner, just from the Patriots. Appropriate gratitude. What was Tom's answer? I plead the fifth. Really? That guy's pleading the fifth? Well, that wasn't about Robert Kraft. That was about the head coach, right?
Because Mr. Kraft, he prays on Tom Brady every chance he gets.
He gets way more than appropriate gratitude from the owner, right?
Yes.
So now the owner is irrelevant in this, this formula that we're going to have to try to figure is going to send Tom to New England or out of New England. To me, I'm going to stand by this, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think Tom has already decided, I just don't want to be with that coach anymore. I think he's going to say, I'm going to go pick my team, my new team, and you go pick your new quarterback, and then let's just get it on and see what happens. Let's see who gets to the finish line first, if either one of us do, right?
Because that's what it's all about.
So that renders Robert Kraft irrelevant in this equation. Because he can coo all he wants to Tom, and it won't matter because Tom's going to know, I don't really live with you. I live with him on a daily basis.
Skip, that's it. Skip, I can, Jenny and I have a great relationship. So I can tell Jenny she looks nice all I want to. It's not the same.
I did not know that. That's news to me.
It's not the same as coming from Matt. You see, somebody else outside can say...
I don't know.
It's
definitely different.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
When Matt says, babe, you look nice. You look really good today. That does something to Jenny. Tom Brady wants...